If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Did you clap? A little bit late, but we're in there, right? I hope you're happy right now. If you're not, it could be a lot of different reasons why you're not, and we'll pray about that. But in the meantime, let's see if you being unhappy has to do with you not living in your purpose. Good day, good day, good day. Welcome back, welcome back. Hey, hey. I should start like a little dance series right at the beginning of the videos. I have to figure out how to get rights to some music in order to do that. We'll get there. In the meantime, welcome back to the Cuay Way. I am Sadia King, and I'm so excited to just really be tapping into my purpose on a greater level and really being obedient to what I've been called to do, which is share, which is educate, which is support families, and do what's important to me, which is organization, creating peace, and purpose in this world. So here I am today, and we're talking about crown therapy. Crown therapy, and just a heads up, I am not a therapist. Boop. Not a therapist, but I do know how to tap into certain elements of internal work in order to grow internally and spiritually. So I want to share some of those things with you and help you get to know you a little bit today. Are you ready? Let's go. We're organizing for families to establish peace and purpose in their lives. And so in order to do that, we got to know, what is our purpose? So we're going to be digging into that today with looking at crown therapy. Have you heard about it? Probably not. But it's an exercise that I've used with hundreds of students and many adults in order to dig deeper and get them closer to their purpose. So I want you to get closer to yours as well. And all of the guests that you'll see on this show moving forward, they're going to be sharing their purpose with us as well through crown therapy. They'll be answering the same 5 questions that we're going to go over today. Each of our guests is going to do. So when I introduce them to you, I'll also be introducing you to their crown. Let's get to it. Are you working a job and find that you're not fulfilled at the end of the day? Most people answer that question and say yes. And I always say, if I don't want to be here, I'm not coming. Please don't quit your job. What did Beyonce say? Something about that. But I don't want you to quit your job. Please don't quit your job. But you do need to dig a little deeper, because if you're not fulfilled with what you're doing right now, it's probably because you're not in your purpose. And if you're not in your purpose internally, I hate to tell you this, but you're dying. You're dying on the inside because there's something in you that wants to come out and it's being restrained. So I want to help you get closer to your purpose by discovering who you are through crown therapy. It's 5 questions. It'll take you maybe about 30 minutes to complete. But at the end of answering those questions, I want you to create something like this, right? You're going to find a crown that has 5 different tips on it. And you're going to answer the 5 questions with 1 word, 1 or 2 words, right? And then some kind of image that displays whatever your word is. This is my crown. Get ready to do your own. Crown therapy, loading. So when we talk about that crown therapy, there's a number of questions that we're going to go through in order to establish your jewels. And your jewels are those elements about you that will be presented on your crown. I really see this as a way for Even when we greet people as adults and we shake hands, it would be so cool to just know, like, hey, what's on your crown? Like, what's your jewels? Let me find out who you are. Instead of what's your zodiac sign, which to me is so general, you know, I'm all of the zodiacs, right? And so, but this is more like specific to really who you are and what you're on at this moment. Because keep in mind, your crown can grow, it can alter. Certain jewels could fall off or be added. And so you'll see what I mean about that in just a moment. The first question that we ask folks is, what's your instinct? And so there's a question when it comes to that. And that question is, what do you move towards naturally? So you could take a moment right now and kind of write that down. Like, what is it that you naturally move towards? Like, you're going to do this anyway type thing. Write it down. And what I try to have folks do, especially young people, is not put things like sleep or, you know, stuff like that, because, you know, that's not telling me much about who you are, other than you probably got low iron, right? Or you're dehydrated, or you stay up too late, right? But we want to get a little bit deeper than that. So try not to put those kind of things down. But what do you move towards naturally? So for me, what I move towards naturally is public relations. And if you don't know what that is, I really enjoy, which is why this exercise is, you know, right up my alley. I really enjoy learning who people are around me and then helping them to market, advertise, or share themselves with the world in a greater way. And so that's what I do as well. That's one of the hats that I wear. And I just love it. Like, as soon as somebody tells me, you know, what they're into, I can already start seeing some things like, oh, you could do this, you can do this, or some resources for them. So I love that. And that is my instinct, right? So that's the first jewel of my crown, is public relations. The second question, and you can write this one down as well, is skill. So this question is, what are you skilled at already, or what do you have an interest in mastering? Okay. And so for me, my skill is birth advocacy. So I have studied midwifery for a number of years. I have birthed my own children, or my own child at home, one at home and one in the hospital. And I've also helped other women birth at home as well. I don't do that as much as I want to right now, but it's a skill that I'm always going to carry with me. I absolutely love the birthing environment. I love everything about it. It's so sacred. It's so godly. You know, you get a glimpse into heaven if you've been at a birth before, just sitting with the mom in that quiet space as she ushers in her new being. So we have already looked into 2 jewels that are on the crown. We talked about instinct, and then we talked about skill. And so I shared with you my instinct, which was PR, and my skill, which is birth advocacy. So I love that. I'd have to throw this out because I'm an advocate. And so I actually advocate for keeping young boys or baby boys intact, which means they are not to be cut at birth. You know, we believe that God intended for them to look this way, their bodies to be that way, so we don't have to cut anything off. They came perfectly fine, and those things can add to injuries in that organ later on in life. So I have to throw that out there every time I get an opportunity to, because it's important. And some families don't even know that it's an option. They're just on default to circumcise or cut their little boys at birth, and we really don't have to, and it's actually better not to. So anyway, it's just as clean. You just gotta wash, and show them how to wash, show them how to Cuay their organ, and then you don't have to cut it off. So hopefully I can get some birth workers on here at some point, and we can go into that with their purpose and things a lot more, but that's on my crown. I'm always going to be advocating for birth, for babies and mamas, and that's a part of who I am. So when you meet me and I just tell you, oh, I'm a teacher, but I'm leaving off all of these key aspects of who I am, you're really not getting to know me. And that's why, you know, I see crown therapy as a great way for us to network. Okay, so the next item that's on our crown, the third jewel on our crown, is going to be passion. Now this one we hear a lot, like people say, what are you passionate about? What's your passion? You know, all of those things. And so we might have a lot of things, but we want to narrow it down to one. And so the question that'll help us narrow it down is, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do all day? Like, what would you just do, like your thing? Okay. A lot of students put gamer here, right? Some, you know, young people or maybe some adults might say, watch TV, right? So we don't want to put those kind of things there, because we want things here that are going to help us get to know you as a person. And so playing a video game or watching TV wouldn't be it, because think about it. Neither one of those things, if you did it all day, right, and you weren't getting paid for it, it's not going to be a contribution to humanity in any kind of way. So literally your life would be a waste, and we don't want that. So think about, what's your passion, something that you're passionate about that if money wasn't an issue, you would do all day. And for me, my passion would be writing. I love it. I love it. I love it. If I had the time and the resources, I would have more than 3 books right now. I would have multiple, because I really just see it as a way of being a historian. I get to leave documentation behind for my children's children, who, if nobody else knows about Cuaying, they better know, right? So I just think that writing definitely is always going to be on my crown in some form or fashion. So here it is in the passion statement, right? So next, the 4th jewel on my crown. See, I got her doing like a little dab here. I'm not really a dabber, but I just found this picture. But anyway, the 4th jewel on my crown is joy. And my joy is dancing. I love to dance. When the beat drop, my hips will be shaking, okay? And I always say, I am a daughter of David, you know? So we're gonna dance like David did. I'm actually a belly dancer. So super shout out to Cultural Expressions in Hollywood, Florida, and my amazing teacher, Sophia. And she has belly dance classes on Wednesday nights. If you're in the area, please drop by. And she's an amazing instructor, and you learn so much about your body and your femininity. But, you know, she teaches us that we shimmy anywhere, anytime, you know. You might be at the gas pump pumping your gas and might have a little shimmy that come on you. Ooh-wee, right? Whatever it is. But I'm a dancer, belly dance, freestyle, you know, whatever. And when I was in North Carolina, I taught some belly dance classes. I wish I could get the time and space to do that again down here. And maybe at some point I will. But meantime, just know I'm a dancer. And so, you know, my students know I'm going to have music in my classroom. I'm going to have music around me. And, you know, I'm dancing. when the beats drop, so will I. All right. And so let's see. So far, we have journeyed through 4 of the jewels that will go on your crown. And hopefully you've been writing down those questions. If you haven't, I can repeat them for you right quick again. So the first one is instinct. And that question is, what do you move towards naturally? Then we talked about skill, which is what are you skilled at already or you have an interest in, because especially as a young person, they might not have the skill yet, or you can even be an adult and you don't have the skill yet, but it's still an interest of yours. Okay. And then third is going to be your passion. If money isn't an issue, what could you do all day? And just really, really marinate on that. Please try not to pick something that's going to be what we would call shallow. You know, find something with some depth and answer the question to it. And then the fourth jewel is joy, which is, does it make you smile or forget about distractions in life? What is it? And I'm not sure if I said that for dancing or not, but dancing is my joy, okay? It makes me smile, and I definitely forget about the distractions in life. What is that for you? For some people, that could be playing basketball. For some people, that could be being around babies or babysitting, okay? Or it could be being in nature. Whatever that joy is, write it down. And then lastly, your fifth jewel on your crown. Hopefully you've been writing all of these down. So the fifth one is, what topic always seems to grab your attention, or somehow you find yourself involved with it? And this one was really, really important to me, because what I realized was that I was always a teacher. Even when I wasn't a teacher, I was a teacher. You know, I was educating. I always want to share, and you know, whatever I'm learning, I wanted to share it out with the next person. So I've always been a teacher, and I feel like education or being an educator is always going to be on my crown. That's what I'm doing here through the Cuay Way. I want to be able to share organizational tools with families that help create peace in your household, in your life, as well as get you closer to your purpose. And that's what we're going to be doing with the Cuay Way. So yeah, I'm going to be educating on you on what works for me. I want to be sharing what has worked with other people, friends, family, and those who I have crossed paths with in the community, business owners and things of that nature, so that you can get some tools from them as well. And we're going to always be talking about organizing ourselves so that we can create this order in our lives, so that we can keep that balance of peace within our lives, and that we can move towards our purpose on a daily basis. So this is my crown. And so I'm going to show you, hopefully I can figure out how to do it. I'm going to show you some of the crowns of some of the young people that I've worked with, and they were so phenomenal. So a few jewels that I see that really stand out. This young man has World War II, so he's interested in World War II. That's very different. Something interesting to know about someone. Look, she plays the ukulele. If you saw her in the street, you wouldn't think she played the ukulele. This student is a skater, of course she's showing that. Basketball, but medicine too, and building houses. Then we have more building engineering, math, definitely adventures here, sports, family, dancing, Roblox, gymnastics, singing, all kind of things, cheerleading, right, getting good grades, being conscientious, that's definitely different, playing hockey, things like jewels or drawing, music, more music here, coding and being a lawyer. Then we have making bracelets, a nurse, socializing, right? Success, collecting shoes, that's a good one. Oh, this one is great. This one, helping people. How awesome is that? Alrighty. all cooking. You need to know who's the cooks. And then we have this one, real estate. This is awesome. And family. Here we go. Loves animals, right? Being patriotic and being a lawyer, a cartoonist. She did that all the time. I'm so grateful for all of these young people and all of the ones who crossed my path when I was in the classroom. They were my teachers as well as all of these faces that you got to see here. I pray for you. I pray for your academics. I pray that you are activating your crown, but also for all of the young people out there striving. I pray for you to just protecting their minds, giving them strength and encouragement as they journey forth. Amen. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So just thinking about how our Heavenly Father has plans for us, has a purpose for our life, we have to be seeking God's will and move accordingly. So I love this Jeremiah 29:11 reminding us that the Creator of all has plans for us, each of us, to give us hope and a future. We're in the Cuay Way, and I have shared with you crown therapy. Hopefully now you understand why I see this as being an asset to our community, a way for us to network and really get to know each other instead of just saying, shaking hands, I'm an engineer, but really you're a musician, but really you own a laundromat and you're a business owner, right? But really you're all about fatherhood, like whatever it is. Like sometimes we are so much on the surface because we haven't really exposed what's really on our crown for us. And so when we meet people, we meet them very shallow. And so this is my attempt for humanity, for us to start engaging with people and networking with one another so that we can share who we really are and then create an environment to build and to focus on our purpose. So I shared with you my crown, and I'm really excited about just putting this out there on this level because now you can see really this encompasses who I am. And most of this I kind of do on a weekly basis in some form or fashion. Like I might not be birthing babies directly right now, but I'm always advocating, And so all of these things kind of encompass who I am. So when you see me, right? Can't get it in there. But when you see me, this is who you see. This is who you're encountering. This is what's on my mind. And so when I meet you, I want to know who I'm encountering. I want to know what's on your mind, what's in your heart. I also want to know what's your instinct. I want to know what's your skill. What's your passion? What's your joy? And what's your calling? Okay, so that's what these all four are. So I talked about what my calling is as a teacher, my joy as a dancer, my passion as a writer, right? My skill as a birth advocate, like I can help somebody birth a baby right now. They like, in the movies, they're always like, is anybody, I'm not a doctor, but I'm definitely a student midwife. So can anybody help birth a baby? Yes, I love it. And then also instinct. And so as we go through the Cuay Way, I'm definitely going to be linking you with other people who are on this path. Like I would love to get my teacher, my belly dance teacher on here. Some of my past co-workers, definitely some authors. I know some really cool authors, birth workers for sure, and people who are into marketing and PR as well. But I have so many guests lined up from all walks of life. I have friends who were ex-inmates, military veterans. I have friends who are business owners, who have traveled the world. Mothers, stay-at-home moms. single fathers. Like, I'm so excited for you to just really get to know the crowns of those that you'll be meeting through the Cuay Way, and also establish what your crown is for you and your family so that you can get busy on your purpose. Because I guarantee if you're working on these things and asking yourself these questions, you're gonna be closer to your purpose. You're gonna be doing work that we need here on the planet, and you're gonna be getting closer to what you need to do for God. So it's all about that. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, I am Sadia King with the Cuay Way. Please, please, please check out our book, Cuay, and you can get that at cuay.org or on Amazon. Please make sure you subscribe to this podcast. This is episode 2. I'm so excited to be sharing the crown therapy exercise with you that I have used with hundreds and hundreds of students through the years, and worked also doing workshops with adults on it. And so now I get to share it with you all. I have worksheets and everything, which goes into it a lot deeper, but hopefully this overview was enough. If you have questions or you would like me to do a workshop for your school or your business so that you can get to know those around you a little bit more, please, please hit me up. I would love to, because getting closer to your purpose, getting closer to, what really brings you peace is gonna help us have more happy humans, right? And I'm all about happy, peaceful humans. That's gonna cause less issues in the family, less issues in our community, and definitely less issues in our nation. So let's get back to the health. Let's get back to the wealth and healing that we need so we can create the peace and the purpose that God intended for us. So God bless you. Have a lovely, lovely day. And I look forward to seeing you on episode 3. Peace.